introduction. I'm Kesavan. This is my colleague, Mr. Alfie Young, from Jurong Secondary School. Today, what we're going to present on. We apologize for not having slides because we were told there's no screen for us to project slides. So basically, what we're going to do is make y'all do a lot of hands-on work. So we have all these steps prepared, stuff like that. The main role of presentation is on how we actually tried and actually implemented the usage of Google Apps in enhancing and supporting teaching and learning in our humanities department. We have experimented with a variety of Google Apps, Google Site, Google Form. Even Google, students use the Google research resources quite frequently for geography lessons. Since last year we have actually tried this out with 3 to 4 classes on a variety. How many of you all teach geog here? Only one. Alright, a variety of geography topics like development, river, coast, weather, climate. So later on, my colleague will actually run through. We also have a departmental Google site, which we upload resources for students. It's a platform for students to utilize for both lessons and for their own revision. Later, I will let my colleague run through our department group humanities.
Hi, I'm Alfie. Actually, we have been working closely together, adopting Google Apps since last year. Around September, we actually started this collaboration between me and my colleague, Mr. Kesa. It was after I went through this ICT mentor workshop, and they started the buzzword that time last year, during September 2013, was Google Site. So during that course, the whole course, it was about creating Google Site. So after I went for that course, when I came back to my department again, I was very interested, to implement this also, because it was very interesting and it was very collaborative, but it was difficult initially. Later we also talk about that, the challenges of adopting this if you are interested to use Google Site. Actually, if you also happen to notice, even this cluster sharing, the website that they presented, the information is all Google Site. So maybe in a way, what we are showcasing here, maybe a little bit outdated already. But of course, we are still learning, because as you know, Google, all their apps, right now is all going very fast. And if you have been keeping track with it, like for example, even forms, right now they are using add-ons. The latest buzz, right now is add-ons. That means your Excel spreadsheet, you can add functionality to it just by downloading add-ons, by third-party developers. And even your mobile phones, right now I think the latest OS is Android Lollipop 5.0. So it's moving at a very fast pace, and we are trying to it's not like an arms race, but it is like an arms race like that. We are trying to compete, we are trying to get more relevant. Because ultimately, we also believe that since the apps that we use is relevant to the student, we are doing in a way, we are getting their trust. That means whatever we do, they see the relevance and it will be easily adopted by them. So ultimately, when we use Google Site, that is our main aim also. And also, Google Apps also. The familiarity, that means we do not actually spend a lot of time teaching the students, to learn all these apps. So when we implement it, it will be easier. So for example, some of the apps, that we use, for our department, like I say, the main one is Google Site, and then slowly, we branch out, to Drive, YouTube, Forms also. Forms we have been using quite heavily, but as I mentioned, there is also some limitation, and it is growing also. They are trying to overcome that limitation also. Like for example, just now I told you sheet, Excel sheet or Google Sheet, they are using add-ons. And later I'll show you some of the limitation. Okay, but actually right here, right now, this is actually a limitation rate. But disclaimer again, actually before we presented, we were told that there was no projector provided. So we actually did up an easel board, right over there. And as you can see, right now, I don't know why, outside, looks very bare. But if let's say you log in, using your mobile phone right now, you can try using this URL, goo.cbb. Make sure that it is uppercase for the letters. You log in, you'll see that it is being formatted properly. And the good thing about Google Site, it is not restricted to browser mode only. Because when we did the site, we also had this option to make sure that the formatting actually follows your browser in your handphone. That means what you see, right? You will see that the menu is actually being minimized. So you need to click on a box. The menu, right, it will actually expand out. And when we presented, okay, we were told that this is a hands-on activity. So actually, when you access this URL, there'll be one short activity for you to try it out. It is actually just based on one small section of our Sec 4 syllabus, which is about tourism. And in these activities, all the instructions are
It's already
over there.
uploaded.
Yeah.
If you enter this site, the instructions are all there. You can. If you want a bigger screen space, maybe we have tabs. Better use this unless you're holding on to anybody needs. Yeah. One more. You know the time.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Are you alright? Yeah. We have extras.
Yeah, extras.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the one.
So you can.
So what you're experiencing is what our students are experiencing right now in the classroom. We'll give them the link and immediately they will access it. So we're teaching them to be more self-directed and not relying on...
And most of the times they will have these steps during lessons to actually.
Same. I think maybe because mobile side different from.
A little bit. The formatting is a little
Slightly.
bit different. If I'm not wrong, you use landscape mode is better. Yeah. For...
It's quite plain.
Okay. So you can spend about 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah. We'll give you about maybe
answer,
5 to 10 minutes. It's quite straightforward. Basically, you just have to view a movie
Short clip.
trailer. Yeah. A short clip and answers the questions.
The mobile side. The
Sorry?
navigation bar. That all this thing that's here.
No. The photographs they are free to find anything as long as they're relevant to the topic.
What browser are you using? Safari. Maybe compatibility with Safari. Perhaps you would like to try the tablet? Yeah.
It's not loaded. Oh, this, glimpse.
There's problems with the security certificate.
Oh,
It is keep on popping up.
Yeah.
All this for the entire class.
So you
Meaning
can't
if someone key in
view
this,
it?
Yes.
key something here, right? The whole
Yes.
class can see it.
They will be able to see it because we actually embedded the Excel response in the site itself. So the teacher can actually just walk around using a tablet also and keep on refreshing and you'll be able to see the responses already. Yeah.
This particular, I just want to comment on this video taking
give it a zone.
You try this.
You try this. Security warning. Can you see the responses?
Can.
Okay, just put to.
Okay, you don't have to key in correct answers. It's just
Just for
don't
you all
worry.
to have a play around with.
It's anonymous also, as in the response that you posted is anonymous. This is just to show you how we actually use our Google site also. Basically what you see right is actually two things right now, two Google apps. One is the site, the other one is the form. You have to do the form and then embed it into the site. Not really real time. You have to refresh, yeah.
I have 10, we have 10.
Show the other one.
Your responses.
But Fazil's site is not working.
Come again?
His site is
Down
not
here.
working.
Okay, if you require props for your video taking to come over here. So what you need to do right now is you just go and find lines with application called lines, just open it. application, it looks like this, the icon. There's an S here. Yes, that's right. So you just go in. Okay, can you just follow that Tetris instruction?
Yeah. Oh, there's security.
I tried to log in with my phone, but it doesn't log in.
Okay. Hey, why? Over the limit.
Why?
Users.
This one is the SSOE.
So what you can do is that you just need to go into the application.
Go to
TP
our
link
one.
should be there to be cancel TP link connect.
For example, take a few snapshots, okay, of your prompt.
Okay, connected. Okay.
Then after that, you can actually move down to the video function.
So after I key in,
Take a video, a short video.
if I put this in right, hello, do I see? Can I expect to see the answer?
Yeah, after you submit.
Or must submit?
Yeah. Okay, you can try going to the. I just changed. Ken, is it captured?
Okay, so once you have already done taking the shot,
This one I don't know why.
video,
Sorry?
you can go back to the splice tab again. Okay, then if you have already created the project,
The comic should take my right?
Sorry?
if you have not done so,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you explore the site, right, you'll see the content that we have done throughout the year.
You can see our lesson resources and our past lessons.
Website.
Huh?
Tundu, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Tundu, yeah.
How do you spell that?
TONDU. Yeah.
okay, so each
So those are our past lessons and stuff like that.
okay, then you simply just do this. Okay, you can see straight away you're going to this slide here. You can either click video photo. Okay, then you can straight away access your camera roll to find where is the video or the photo you have taken. So I will choose this. Then you understand? Follow me? And now I want to move on to the next one. I want to add a video. Or for example, I want to add a caption. So what I can do is just okay, so I can actually go down. You can see it's supposed to go linear this direction. Linear this direction. So you click on the plus sign here. Alright, then I can put title. So title I can just type this is a video.
Sorry. The browser don't know why it's not showing the actual formatting. I don't know why.
This because of
It's definitely because of Apple. All these are Google.
no, then actually can't see the response.
Can see.
Or you want to show to the
Over here cannot, but the other part can.
how's it going? If you cannot answer the question, it's okay lah.
Huh? Just try.
Yeah, it's attempt you cannot. Hey, oh, you know the name of the movie. Huh?
I saw it.
I saw it. You pray well. After you key in your responses, you must submit. You must click submit. Yeah, so scroll all the way down and click submit. Then you'll be captured.
Sorry? I can refresh. Another 3 more minutes. Actually, when you finish the form, you can explore the site also to see the content that we have done up for the year. I think some of you have already realized that we also did a game, Stop the Disaster.
That was developed by you guys.
No. It's all, yeah, don't worry.
After you have answered all our questions, you can actually take time to surf through our past resources, what we've done for past lessons, and
So like, for example, this particular thing, this
Being zero response. Yeah, I think that's why it takes a long time to view the trailer.
actually will be something else.
and then if you realize that
Yeah,
this
50
particular video doesn't
50 we stop.
require any
50 we stop.
voiceover,
It's going to be
you can in fact put in the background music.
when we talk. We'll just stop.
You can just go up to here, there's some audio function. Click on it.
I don't know, maybe I show also. Remember the site that we use the instrument?
Sometimes then you then after I take over for the feedback and select.
Immediately after this, I just share the other side. And I pass it back to you.
Okay, you have about 2 minutes more.
iPhone or iPad, they can in fact access the iPhone library. The slide library is a little bit sad. So you can only one use one or two.
You want this one?
So in fact, when our kids created the video, you only have all these things on. Okay. So at the end of it, you can actually preview. Once you are done, you can preview it. And then you can actually see your production on your edited video.
Oh, stop it.
It's not tracking.
Stop. Okay, can we?
Okay, sorry,
Pause.
I think we have to
Yeah.
stop you there because of time constraint. Okay, but roughly you get the idea.
Yeah.
So usually what we'll do, right? Okay, everything before the lesson we'll do it up on the site itself. So other teachers they can actually use it and the robustness of it. If other teachers, right, if they use it, if you have realized when you scroll down, right, okay, you'll see that the responses are being posted there. The students will get to see other classes, what they have done, and in a way, I mean, you can say that they might cheat a little bit, but you can, of course, right, prior to the lesson, you can change the Excel also. Basically, this function we are using is using the iframe function in Google Site. Basically, you have to insert and you have to find this iframe tag. It requires a little bit of understanding of how to navigate or how to use the Google Site manager, as in how to create a site. But don't worry, later we have a handout to let you get going. Because ultimately, we also believe that if there is more content, because if you go to Google Site, if you search, let's say, Jurong Secondary School, you might find our site over there also. So we believe in sharing also, because what we done, right, okay, other teachers can access it, and we can also access what you have done also. So it's like a community of sites, right, okay, done up by different schools, and we can share all the resources together.
And also when if students are in groups when doing such lessons, we will collate and we will collate all the responses, and it will be easy for the teacher to actually analyze between groups and quantify whatever responses each group have come up with and open it for class discussion, intergroup discussion. And another thing is what my colleague has brought up, we are trying to create such lessons for each topic for geography, for example, and because such lessons are easily transferable. Let's say me and him mainly conduct such lessons. Even if new teachers come into the department, they can replicate the lessons and actually conduct it because all the resources are already on the site. So it's one of the advantages is that it's easily transferable. Yeah.
Okay, and maybe just before we go, right, okay, maybe we just show you another example that we did. For this site, right, okay, we did it specifically for GI, weather especially. All the instruments, right, okay, all the information are there. There is one lesson where we just brought them to the computer lab and we asked them to access this URL. And at the end of the entire lesson, right, after they've gone through the different links, right, to the different instruments, right, they are supposed to do a MCQ. And this is actually where we found out about the limitation of Google site forms, right? Okay, because if you ask them to do a form, it is just collecting information from them only. You won't get to know whether they get it correct or there is no feedback for you on how they have performed. So we actually use a test one. So you can see we are also trying to not just limit ourselves to Google, but we are also learning, right, okay, how to use other apps also. So as you're learning, right, okay, Google apps, you also get to learn other apps also. This is test one. Basically, we created this MCQ for them. After they have gone through the content in the site, they do this survey, and sorry, not this survey, but this MCQ, And each of the different students, you have the marks and also the time and the percentage, right, of passes. So easily you can use it as a graded assignment for them, also a test for them after they use the site, okay, to go through all the different instruments. And I think this one, just now some of you were exploring it, quite interesting. You can also post up content, right, on Google site itself, let them read and then let them play this game on how to stop disasters. Yeah, all the links, right, all the things that we show, right, is actually available on our Google sites. Once you have this URL, you can click on the different links. And if you realize, there's also links for history and also SS.
SS, yeah.
But so far, in our department, we are
We are mainly very active in conducting geography lessons.
Yeah, more towards geography.
Using this as a platform. It's just an experimental stage, but we will just fine tune the processes as we go along. And of course, doing all this is not without challenges. All right. First, one of the challenges is basically administrative matters. When we first started out, we had to ensure the classes we are conducting such lessons with, they have their Google accounts, for example. And sometimes, and also technical delays, because we use the com labs and all that. We cannot expect 100% smooth delivery of the lessons. There will be hiccups here and there. And within this 1 hour time frame, it's quite hard to get a smooth flow, but over time we just rectify this. And of course, when we choose a topic to run such lessons using Google as a platform, we have to sit down and think through what are the questions we are going to craft and what are the answers we expect to elicit from the students. Because Google is like it's a wide-ranging. They can go online and get whatever answers they want, whatever information. But how are we going to streamline what we actually want to get from the students? That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say we are there, but we are getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually it forces us to facilitate also. It does not make our rule redundant, but actually it makes us to be able to facilitate the discussion even better, because the responses that you get, because you're opening up a can of worms in a way, right? Because when you ask them to do these forms, right, what we found out is that the students will actually go and do their research online also. Yeah, because they are so used to Google, they'll just Google search market answers, and the responses they post back, some of them you have to on the spot, right, make sure that you are able to answer them also. So this is also one of the challenges also. Yeah, and I think that's about it.
That's about it for
so
our part.
yeah, we actually prepared this handout.
Yeah, some handouts.
Yeah,
for-
this handout, right, is just for you to get going on how to use or how to start your own Google site. And at the back, right, there's also another Google app which we didn't discuss, but it's actually Google Earth also. Yeah, Google Earth is really, really very interesting, but we will not talk about that for today. We just focus on Google site only.
In your school, you use other
Yes, we do. We have our LMS also. So the idea of Google site is because of familiarity also. Because the students, right, if you ask them to log into LMS, most of the time they will be, they'll be not in their comfort zone. So when we adopted Google site, right, we feel that the students, they are more comfortable with it. And we actually did the feedback for the students. Basically, we found out that they are already using a lot of Google apps already. So like I say, once you adopted things that they are already using it, they will easily adopt to it also. And it will make your life easier. You don't have to teach them how to use it. Because ultimately, the pickup rate is cut, okay, by maybe like 80%, because they know how to use it. And the apps itself, right, they're quite consistent between all the apps. Like for example, even presentation slides, even Word documents, right, they are all quite similar. The UI, right, is quite similar. So that's why we adopted Google.
So do you still upload resources on outside the
Both also. We use the LMS. Like for example, we created a site. We'll post the link, right, to the LMS also, so that the students, they have both. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite a balance we teach. We actually did a survey on what are the most frequently used Google apps. So, I mean, we already got a rough gauge, a rough sense of what they actually use. So this is just an add-on to their daily life in that sense. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I don't know why you guys are.
This one I think is by the school. It's to track us when we present. Yeah, it's not us. Don't worry, don't worry. It's not a Google don't know what eyeglass or what.
So, I don't know. This thing moves.
I think this one you have to ask the.
That one I think you have to ask him. Yeah.
What does it do? Like for those that don't know the presenters.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you for
Yeah, thanks.
coming to our meeting.
Thanks so much.
Oh, okay. So if they move this thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it does.
You don't need the IT
Yeah, it does.
in the classroom. It's a robot that can follow you.
It does.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you.